Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about good old Goodreads. See what I did there? Haha, haha. Okay, I'm going to stop. Let's go into that screen share, screen one, and let us move this over here. Alrighty. So, this is what the homepage of Goodreads looks like if you are signed in. I'm currently signed in on my book club account. So we're going to start with the feature I find Goodreads most useful for, and that is their shelving system, which you can customize. So since I have books already here, I'm going to go ahead and say view all books. And by default, it's going to have pre-made bookshelves, all, which is everything you've added to any list. Want to read, currently reading, and read. I don't use these, but I'm kind of forced to use them, so I have to shelve twice, which is unfortunate. If I had it my way, I'd be able to rename these at the very least, or get rid of them altogether. So what I currently use for my personal shelves is currently reading in book club, finished in book club, upcoming book club reads. So let's start off with currently reading. So I got two clubs in my Patreon, and we're on our Wednesday one, which is weekly. We're reading Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And then my every other Sunday group, we're reading the Sandman arc and a bunch of other occult dark things from DC. So I haven't finished these books, but it does tell me the average rating, who the author is, when I added the book. I can add in a date read. I don't do tracking that granularly, but I do have the option if I so chose. Um, Next up, we're going to go up to the finished in the book club shelf I have. This is the first book we read for the year. I gave it a well, by Goodreads standards, I gave it a 3. I gave it a grade higher in my review, which we'll get to in a moment. The average rating is a 3.78. Notice a Tree Grows in Brooklyn is a 4.3 average. I gave it a 3, but I gave it higher than that. We'll see here in a moment again. And then 4.37 for the Sandman Deluxe Book 1. Says I gave it a 4. I actually graded it higher than that. And we'll now take a look at what I've been talking about. So if I just go here to look at the book, and yeah, you got the tags here, which is per neural. But if I scroll down, I can see my very own review. And for the Family Pascal, I really gave it a 3.25 out of 5. Now, for me, what a 3 really means is something I wouldn't reread again. I may or may not recommend it to others. Um, but it was an okay book. Anything lower than that, it like a 2, it did something really well, but dropped the ball in every other aspect. 4 is something I would actively recommend to other people, and I might reread. A 5 is here's top shelf. I'll recommend this all day, every day kind of deal. A 1, not even going to come up in conversation. It deleted from the brain bank. But I gave it a 3.25. I really would think you would really need to read this in a book club setting. To me, that elevates the book because there's a lot going on plot wise. Um, some of it's good, some of it's not so good, but overall, I think it provides a good discussion. If you're not going to have a discussion with this work, I would probably pass it up. That would be my recommendation or not recommendation, depending on how you're viewing that. Now, let's look at A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. If I scroll down, I can look up my own review here, and I really gave it a 3.75, almost 4. Where where I thought it got some points deducted, it was really lengthy in some areas that I found unnecessary, so I would have not included them in the book. It's about a 500-page book or close to. It is worth reading, and I would recommend it to others. It was an enjoyable read. That's my only real critique is it's a little long and padded in areas, which is okay. It's still a solid read. Now, if we go over here to our last one, the Sandman book. Again, this is a collected deluxe edition, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I definitely recommend this book. It's solid. What kept it from a 5 or closer to a 5 for me is they're still kind of getting what it is they're building. So some issues were a little and some were just fantastic, best things ever. So that was the only thing that kept it closer to a five for me. And let's go back. I can add shelves easily enough. Like if I wanted a shelf that says never recommend to anyone, I could add that shelf here and yep, zero books in there so far. Now let's say I want to delete a shelf, so I'll go over to it. Um, or actually, no, I'll click this edit, which will edit all shelves, which is a cool feature. Um, I sticky the three here in the order I wanted them in, but here I could just click the X and get rid of it. It goes away. Now, I wish I could do that for these three, but I am not able to. Now, the ones I finished or completed, which are finished in book club, I do have the little recommended check mark here. And over here, it's really tiny, so let me blow that up so you can read on screen. It does have what each of these means as far as the terms goes, what feature means, what shelf sorting means. Um, so if we check mark these, I believe, for sortable, you can enable shelf sorting to customize the order of your shelves. This is extremely useful for the to read shelf. You can keep track of what you like to read next. Sticky shelves are sorted first on your books and on your profile, and then the exclusive shelves, all members or yeah, have the three default shelves, read, currently reading, and to read, which are mutually exclusive, meaning a book can only be on one of them. Members can create as many additional shelves as they like, and books can be on as many non-exclusive shelves you desire. This may be useful for shelves such as reference or gave up on. It may take a few minutes for the changes to propagate if you have a lot of books on the shelf. And then the recommended one, check this box if you'd like us to try to make recommendations for books in this shelf. If this box is unchecked, we will not make recommendations. So the more you read, the more it kind of analyzes the data to give you said recommendations. So we're just going to say, I'm done. And then huzzah. So, yeah, that is the shelving system at a glance. Um, they really tie into Kindle and Amazon, which is what we're going to talk about next. But you can add books for your Amazon purchase and or Kindle notes and highlights. So this is a help article page on how to link your Amazon account for more benefits. So things are more tied together when you do an order off of Amazon. I don't really like promoting Amazon too much, but they support it, so might as well mention what they support. Now, now that that's done, let's go back to the home page and we're gonna minimize this, that we're out of that nonsense. So they're not going to give me any recommendations on this account until I've rated 20 books, but I'm basing this off our book club, so it's going to be a minute before this bar is even filled before I start getting recommendations. So, count profile, we're going to go click it, and we're going to say profile. So, got my age there, blah, 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 birth date, website, when I joined, favorite books, a little thing about me, which is the same on the YouTube page. And it's going to show more or less the same stuff. If I click this, I don't know what this does. Let's find out what it does. Stats. I got nothing. No stats for me. Um, I can invite friends. It'll track what they have a Listopia, which we'll get to in a moment, of other people's list. I did plug in my favorite genres. Polls I voted on, lists that I liked, all kinds of stuff to track if I so chose. And then we have, let's see here, a lot of updates, blah, blah, blah. And I can add a book of author and some HTML if I so chose. I chose not to, which is okay. Um, let's see, edit profile. All right, so blah, 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 feeds. Okay. So you can control what's displayed on your home screen if you so chose. You can integrate these Amazon, iOS, Apple, Blogger, Google applications and tie things together. It's got a thing for widgets if you want to tie that to like your own personal website, just to have things again more synced up, which is kind of neat for people into that. Now, book links. This is where I spent a little bit of time. Um, so where you get books from, I think matters more to me than anything. So I changed mine up from the defaults. I have bookshop.org, Audible, Barnes and Nobles, Abe, Indie, Bound, Biblio, eBay, and a library thing. So each have a remove and they have up and down arrows. So if I wanted a library thing above eBay, it would do that. But I don't. So get that away from me. And I don't remember Indie Bound, so I'm just going to remove that and remove. Now I can add over here. They have it sorted by, I guess most users have added these in. There is so many of them. Because if I scroll down this gigantic list, look how many pages of more gigantic lists there are. And all you would do is simply click add. And what that's really going to do, so if I go, I should have tested this beforehand, but I didn't. Let's go back to our Sir Gawain. And it may or may not update because I did change things before the video. So it gives me the Kindle option. And where is it gonna give me book recommendations? I think here. Yeah. Okay. Great. So bookshop.org recommendations are here. And then if I want to say, if I go up to the top, I think it'll be somewhere around here. Um, Book details and editions. Okay, there we go. Uh-huh. What's really nice is it gives me the ASIN, which is an Amazon term. I wish it would give the ISBN. That'd be a little bit more universal. It shows me all editions here, blah, blah, blah. I think that's the one we're currently reading, but again, I go off the highest rating normally, not always. Um, Beowulf. We were talking about the other day. I would not recommend Beowulf. I understand its significance, but not doing it. All right. So let's see. And I can add my activity and I can rate here if I wanted to do a rating and write a review directly on the actual product page. Um, yeah, it's clickable. It's not clickable. All right, we're gonna go back. Yeah, so that's there. And then purchases. It will track your purchase history, I do believe. I don't really play around with this too much. I could see a benefit, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. Again, a little too granular for my taste. So let's go back to the homepage. So to me, the shelves, that's what makes Goodreads Goodreads. The average rating, people put a lot of bank into that. I'm not one to do that. It is a mass consensus amongst all readers. Some readers' opinions I would respect more than others. So how you get a more accurate score, you can't really, but it gives you a global appeal idea. Because I've seen some 4-star books. I've read some 4-star books based off Goodreads ratings. I don't like them. And I've read 2-star books from Goodreads that I love. And so the rating system is what it is. It gives you a range, I guess, where it would probably land, which I think is another plus of Goodreads. Um, Again, I think it'd be more accurate if you could do quarter or half stars. Half stars is probably the sweet spot, honestly. And that would give, because it leans more toward a 4 or it leans more toward a 3 with a half star metric. Um, I think that just gives a clearer picture. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to the currently reading. We'll do the Sir Gawain. Okay, they were giving it a 3.98, 15,000 ratings, and only 1,000 reviews. So most people think this is closer to a 4 or more people have voted it above a 4 to give us an average. So if we scroll down and we get kind of a breakdown, it's almost a split between a 4 and a 5, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1. So I may look at the one percenters here and see what they're saying. Well, to be blunt, I found this book boring, cruel, and unimaginative. I truly would have stopped reading it after the fifth page, except for the fact that it was a school require. Oh, forced reading. Forced reading. Bad. Okay, I understand, my man. Or woman, whichever the case may be. Ruby. So I'm going to assume woman. Um, I think I would have enjoyed this more if it had been written in straight out prose form. I don't particularly like a metered structure. I'm with you. That's what's keeping it more on a 4 for me at present. I haven't finished the book, but I understand that. So that's legitimate to me. This person didn't like the translation because it is a book in translation from Tolkien. Um, and this person had no idea what's going on. They had to watch the movie. And this one couldn't connect with the book at all. So let me read the 5-star reviews, or at least the first couple. Uh, okay, they're talking about, oh, lengthy review. Okay, I'm not reading that. Um, so they liked one portion of this book, and they read it some in college, and this is a reread for them. They really like Chaucer and Shakespeare. Okay. So these people, this is more of their regular reading. It's their jam. So if that's your thing, I can understand the appeal. But I'm looking for more of a did good here as far as pros, did bad here kind of deal. And I'm not really getting this from the 5-star reviews as of yet. Um, Here they're giving their opinion of all of it, essentially. Okay, this one looks like what I'm looking for in a review. Thanks, Brian. Absolutely wonderful. I had a difficult time falling into a book so concerned with feast and hunts and December merriment, but it tends with constant temptation hanging over the whole book. Final scene is a real relief. It makes me want to read it again without the tension. Not only did I like the Catholic morality, but as close as possible next to best of chivalry. Egwene is an easily likable protagonist. He strikes all the right human notes. So this to me is a good review. These others, minus the lengthy ones I didn't go into detail, didn't really do it for me. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go back to the home page. And let's see. What does my books do? I think that just takes me to my shelves. It does. And it shows me everything. All of it. But I want the breakdown. Um, so let's go to this upcoming thing. So these are books, and then I should probably sort these. Can I sort these? Can I just change the number? All right. So I know this book is coming up next, so that should be a 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's correct. And these are for my extended reading, so we'll leave them more toward the bottom. And so, yeah, we got Daybook, The Journal of an Artist, got a 4.18, A Child Called It, a 4.14. These two are nonfiction works. And The Good Earth, part of a trilogy by Pearl S. Buck. And then we have The Stand by Stephen King coming up. And then these three are in the others every other Sunday book club reading. So there we go. And there is an import export list if you want to do some Excel, more customization thing. There is a print option. Stats. The stats do. I don't know. We're going to click it to find out. Probably does nothing. Well, it's going to take it a minute to load. So we're going to copy this and come back. We're just going to go over here. Blah, blah, blah. Alrighty. So, what else we got? Print settings. Okay, so you can add more columns, which is kind of neat as well. Date published, format, ISBN, number of ratings, number of pages, any kind of notes, the ISBN, owned, review, votes, read count, etc. You can get kind of granular with it. But if you want more granularity than your export tool, you take an Excel or Google Sheets and do as your heart's content. Now we're going to get into the fluff of Goodreads. And fluff isn't necessarily a negative term when I use that, but it's stuff I probably wouldn't use myself. So we're going to go into the recommendation. So it pulled up my favorite genres here, or what I told it was my favorite genres at least. So we're going to go into the recommendations. It's going to give me nothing until I do what it tells me to do. It wants me to rate 20 books, not doing it until we have read 20 books in the book club. So I have nothing. Nothing at all. All right, so we're going to go over to these choice awards. And we will do a separate review video thing on the Goodreads Choice Awards, but let's not do anything current. Let's go to the 2011. And we're going to have some things here of their winners. They have different categories. I think they add and take away categories just like any award system does. So we got favorite book 2011, fiction, mystery, historical, fantasy, paranormal fantasy, science fiction, horror, history, non-humor, romance, blah, blah, blah. Many, many, many. So if I go over to 2025, I think it's going to be even more. Nope, I'm wrong. They added audiobook since the first inception of this. Science fiction, it looks like. Alrighty. And then they give the number of votes. They've been doing it, well, 17th annual, so 17 years. So that's kind of cool. So let's go over to the giveaways. Enter to win free books. That's cool. If you want free books, well, enter the giveaways. If we scroll down to the bottom here, we have 251 giveaways going on so far. And I don't know. Let's enter this one. Yay. And then I gotta fill out a form, and then it's done, I think. So I'm not gonna do it, but that's how you would do it. Let's go back over here. Is this finished reloading? Yep. See, I get nothing for stats. Sad me. So we don't need this anymore. That can be thrown away. And then our next section is new releases. We can do it by author or by genre. So I'm going to uncheck this. I don't want to receive new release emails and submit. And it's going to take forever to load. It is a little clunky there. So we have fiction, historical fiction, blah, 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 blah. So I think I can click. Let's just go with, I don't know, where's horror at? It's not even on here. But I want it to be. Let me go author. Can I do previous month? Oh, I guess I gotta save authors before that would work. Yeah, because I'm really into romance. I mean, I've done some videos on it. Not for me, but all right. Come on, Johnny, focus. Pick one. Fantasy. Let's go. I'm not happy about this, but here. Okay. So it's for the particular book I selected. See, I don't use this feature too often. So kind of basing this off cover alone. I like this bear wolf thing. Science fiction, dystopia, humor, aliens, fantasy, science fiction, fantasy, and book club. Part alien invasion story, part buddy comedy, and part workplace satire. I'm in for the movie, I'm not in for the book. I can tell you that already. Would humans really make great pets? Humans must be silent. Humans must be obedient. Humans must be good. Okay. I'll catch the movie, but not reading the book. Can't make me. So that is how that works. Popular new releases. So if you want a what's popular amongst these would be the thing for here. So I'm going to enter my genre preferences here. And sure, fiction, historical fiction, mystery and thriller, fantasy, science fiction, and that. Save. All right. So now it's a more curated to my taste. Again, no horror, which makes me sad, but c'est la vie. I don't know if this tightened up yet. Again, you're gonna have to give it some propagation time, but that's okay. And we're gonna go on to list. Okay, so featured list. So I can create one. List I created, I can manage that. List I voted on, and list I've liked. So, um, how do I do it, Goodreads? How do I do it? Can I just click? Nope. Nope. More books on list. Okay. I can running list of monthly book picks from the Goodreads editorial team. Okay. How do I rate it? Get results and compare with friends. Is it this? I read, oh, it's telling me how many books I've read on this list. That could be useful. How do I vote on it? I have no idea. Let me know in the comments. How do I vote on the actual list itself? Because apparently I fail here. Maybe I have to go all the way to the right? No? Okay. So, Booker Prize eligible, class and session, popular list, best books ever, books that everyone should read at least once, and best young adult books. All right, so let's go to this popular list, I guess. Maybe. Okay. All votes. Hmm. Add books to list. Vote for this book. Okay. I don't want to add any of my books to this list, but I guess I could submit it to the list maker, which is kind of neat. Oh, look, Cat in the Hat. Aha. Anyway, going back. So if I wanted something more my jam, can I? No, I cannot. But I can do a search. Let's do a search. Or what do we got? Okay, so the most disturbing books ever written, must read books, different genres, books unknown, but must be known books, best horror novels. All right, let's go to that one. And they give some other recommendations, and we can add books to the list. We can go down and rate each book. We can see the average ratings, which are in the millions for these. What do we got? The Shining, It, Salem's, Dracula, Pet Cemetery, Misery, The Exorcist, Haunting of Hill House, Carrie, Frankenstein. Okay, decent, decent list of starter horror, I would say, or quintessential. There's the stand. Hey, it's on my list. See, it's on the want to read. Haha. I made a list or a book on a list. I'm so happy. Not really. I don't really care. But let's see. How many books is on here? And okay. So over 2,000 books, but these are the top 100 on that particular list. So good to know. If I go back here, I can click on more things. They've also got these tags if I wanted to search more history. Is it going to be history horror or just history? Let's find out. Best history books, best feminist, memoirs, best biographies, well-written Holocaust, best American history. So nope, didn't get what I wanted. These in alphabetical order? Of course not. I can go back here to horror, and here we are. That was a zombie book list. Gothic, more zombie, quality dark, vampires and werewolves, blah blah blah, most anticipated, etc. Okay. All right, done with list. What does explore do? Okay. What's it doing? Okay, because I rated this or said I like to read it, it's going to recommend me some things off of Sir Gawain. Uh, okay. The Book of Merlin. I like the artwork on that one. Neat. This is trending over all Goodreads, so it's just gonna say off of Sir Gawain. It's gonna give me 4 panels here. If I want to read more, like the Canterbury Tales, if I go back, um, so this is because of me, and then the second one is with Goodread members. Good to know. So I got two different kinds of lists to choose from, but along the same stemming branch. How to kill a guy in 10 dates. Why can't you do it in one? Sounds like a failure on your end. But my snarky comment notwithstanding, what else have we got? News and interviews. Okay. 8 new books recommended by readers, Goodreads editors, hot fresh, readers most, 10 new books, 10 new books, personal picks, 9 new books, 10 new books, a lot of new books. Alrighty. What's the community do? So, Goodreads does have groups. They're kind of like book clubs. You can sort by most popular by default. You can search for a kind of group. You want to give a theme or something. And then you could search by tag, I believe. So, number one here, or whatever they're featuring. Uh, we'll do these two. So, all right. If I go here to read with Jenna, when anyone on today's team is looking for a book recommendation, there's only one person to turn to, Jenna Bush Hager. Okay. Jenna will select a book as you read along. We'll be posting updates right here with thought-provoking conversation starters. We'll hope you'll engage with the rest of the Read with Jenna community to make this book club your own. Okay, so this is forum style. And they have more discussions if I wanted. Okay. Misogyny, huh? All right. Okay, so we'll go away from that. Yeah. Now, Goodreads Librarian Group are volunteers who help ensure the accuracy of information about books and authors in the Goodreads catalog. Oh, they are on a mission. The Goodreads Librarian Group is the official group for requesting additions or updates to the catalog, including adding new books or editions, editing book information, including covers, combing and merging book editions, edits to page counts, quotes, or awards, correcting author profiles for authors not in the Goodreads author program. If you're a Goodreads member with a new request, click Join Group. Once you're added to the group, you can post your question following this link. Simple request, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, I'm locked out because I'm not a group member. Man, that is a lot of forums. So, if you are have a life quest, maybe this group is for you. So if we go back to community, we're going to go back to groups. So book talk, I guess, is for book talk to interact with each other and share the love. So go here. Everybody's looking for friends. Okay. I'll be your friend. Come join my Patreon. Yeah. All right. So we can go to discussions. Um, I wouldn't know what to do here if I came here. Okay. So we're gonna click more and 1,000 books being discussed. So what happens when I click on one? Let's find out. Takes forever to load. We'll come back to. Oh no, there it goes. Uh, Topics about this book, topics that mention this book. And this is the leather-bound edition, so I don't know. Click this. Okay, forum style, how many views, how old, and 2012. So if I want to go to newest, oh, huh. There we go, 2026. I had to click the date button for a second. And they are still discussing it many, many years later, which is fine. So I'm done with that one. You guys can explore that on your own. We're gonna go to quotes. So I can sort by the most popular. If I had friends on Goodreads or if I had authors, I could do that. Does authors give me anything? Does. Quotes from authors you follow or what books you've shelved. So it kind of curates it more to what I'm doing, and they've got these tags over here. But let's go for the most popular. What's the first one? Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Thank you, Mr. Oscar Wilde. They have some kind of like rating system here. I don't know how you submit a quote. Well, there you go. Answer my own question. Add a quote. And then I have quotes by me. That's cool. So if I wanted to add a quote, keep on booking on. Oh, it's got to be from an author. Can't do it. Fair enough. Until I find that quote from an author. Oh well. And then we got people. What's people do? Nope, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Let's go to ask the author. What's this do? Um, Apparently I can only ask these four authors. I guess I have to follow authors in order for it to work. Okay. Um, so if I say Stephen King, I don't know, and click on his name, and it takes it a minute to load. I say follow, and then I go back over to ask the author. I guess I gotta opt in, or it may take a minute to propagate, but at least it showed up here, which is neat, instead of these four other people. Um, okay. But if I go on the author page, it does say ask the author. And hmm, learn more. Nope, nope, nope. Learning Together here does have his website, who his influences are. Um, I'm not sure how to submit a question to him. He may have turned that off because so many questions, so many times. Does have his friends list here, which is neat. And there's some polls, just kind of neat. Topics. You can flag things. Okay. Randall flag joke to be made, but I will retain my thing. Oh, I can click on his quotes, more books. I don't really see a way to ask him a question directly. That's okay. I assume it works for some authors, so you'll have to play around with it. What else do we need to do? People. Like regular people? Most popular 99 reviewers this week in the United States. Okay. Look at Dan with his headphones. Oh, so amusing. Here, blow this up for people. Um, is this how many books they've read? It's like two lifetimes worth on hiatus, traveling. One book a day. Okay. Uh, to read. Read. Okay. So she's not read 8,000 books. She just has that many on her list. And Liz the dog. What does Liz the dog have to do? 70. She has badges. Oh, I forgot to do that. We will go back to the badges later. But see, this lady has a lot of shelves, which is kind of cool to see. I guess I can look at her stats. I don't know if I care, but okay. No offense, Liz, the dog. Oh, wow. Okay. We really upped our game from 2012. Man. And then again in 2016. Shoosh. These last couple of years, man, she's been booking it. That is a joke. Okay. Man. All right. So some cool data if you've been on Goodreads a while. That is kind of neat. So if I go back to the homepage, all right, the reading challenges. I hate them, and they're a thing. So you can sign up for these bookmark challenge things, books you've read, and eventually Goodreads will give you your own challenge. You can set a goal as well, how many books you would like to read for the year. But let's see what April wants me to do. Collect this achievement by finishing any book this month. Okay. What else do we have? I don't know what a Grand Slam is. I feel like I'm at Denny's, but let's find out. Complete the set. Collect this achievement by finishing a book every month of the year. So you read one book a month, you'll get that one. And nailed it. Completing your reading goal in general. All right. And then stepped it up. What's this one do? Okay, year over year. All right, so cool. So if you need some motivation and you like little digital achievement awards, Goodreads has got you covered. Um, some other things they do, like bookshop.org, celebrate women's history. So if I click this banner, it will give me a blurb and then books to read based off that theme. I don't know if they're sorted in any kind of order. Not really. So I'd have to explore each one. I'd like to be some kind of curation more here. This one looks interesting. Well, I guess I should say the name. For the Sun After the Long Nights by Fatemeh Gemalpour. Moving exploration of the 2022 women-led protests in Iran as told through the interwoven stories of two Iranian journalists in September 2022. A young Kurdish woman died after ... Perfect place for an ellipses. But the cover is what struck me. Got some Dolly Parton over there. And how long is this? Oh, we're almost done. Oh, look at that. The return of the housewife giving the finger while women are still cleaning up. She looks very angry in her pink gloves. We're gonna go away. She would probably want to throw something at me. Um, I think we have covered everything, other than I did want to talk about this. So, another downfall of the rating system, I think, like I just typed in Lord of the Rings. Very well known book. There's over 2,000 results. So, if we just base it off the 3.1 million, we're getting a 4.41 average review. If we do this book, that's 700K. If we do this part of the trilogy, they're giving it this rating. There's all different editions. So the question really is, should these all be combined into one thing, The Lord of the Rings, as in the trilogy as a whole, by independent book? Because what are we really gauging the rating thing by? So if I go by, I can't even sort by most reviewed, but I assume this is the most popular one, the 3.1 million. But we all know it's going to be above a 4. But to really dial it in here, should it be one or should it be many? It has very many. There's 2,000 ratings or 2,000 books to be rated, and you're dividing your audience essentially. And I get it. Some translations they kind of need that because that kind of changes the book as a whole. I get it when we're talking about a collection versus an individual part of a collection, and then you're doing that by times a bajillion. You're just diluting the vote count essentially. But I don't have a good answer. I just have a good question. As I don't think the way books are rated across any book platform tool I've seen so far have figured it out entirely. Because you're diluting your one work essentially by 2,282 times. And I mean, for this work, you're going to be in the ballpark, but what if things are drastically different depending on the edition and the format and the translation and all of that? So it's just something to think about. So I've hoped you've enjoyed our short tour on Goodreads. Some people may get more benefit the more active you are on it. Me, I'm just keeping a list from our book club stuff, giving some reviews based off our book club. I'll probably add that link sometime in the description. After I do the Storygraph review, that's probably when I'll add both of them because I'm tracking them on both. And that video will be probably coming later down the month. Anyway, if you like what we're doing here, I do have a Patreon. You can join us for our book clubs. You can join both or one, whichever you would like. Be cool. Also supports me and this channel and what we're doing here. We do have a public Discord where it's free to everybody to join. Come in, talk about books. I post a lot of books I talk about on the channel there. Give me a little brief synopsis and link, as well as some other tools and resources. Um, and leave a comment about what you think about Goodreads. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Another pun toward the end of the video. See what I did there? Haha. I think that's going to do it for today. And keep on booking on.